Hey everybody, this is David at Homestead Hacks. What we're doing today, we're cleaning out the goat pen slash chicken pen, whatever you want to call it. And this is kind of like a winter clean out. You can see here I got a big old pile of litter that's come out of the goat pen. This is going on the garden. As you can see, it's mulched very well. Look at that, look how fine cut that is. That's just pure mulched goat manure with a little bit of chicken manure in it. Chicken manure, you got to remember, if you use it on your garden, you need to go very sparingly with it, because chicken manure is very, very strong, a lot of nitrogen in it. So be careful using too much. But what I'm going to do today is clean this out. It's going to take several wheel barrels full. I'm going to take to the garden. I'm also planting some goji berries, and I got the holes dug out, and I'm going to put a little bit of this mulch inside each hole, and I'll show you that here in a second. But right now, all I'm doing is just going in the goat pen and getting a lot of this good mulch here that I put on the garden. This right here, look how rich that is. That soil, very good. It's really rich soil. It's like I said, it's crossed with chicken manure and goat manure. I don't think you could beat a better fertilizer than the combination of the two. And most of this is mulched. It's not been cleaned out all winter, so it's due for a cleaning. So let's get it all dug out and we'll get it on the garden. I want to show you something real quick. I just had dug these holes out. These were previous holes that's been dug before, so it was very easy digging. Very rich soil there already. Then I'm going to put some of that goat manure, chicken manure in it, and this is where the goji berry plants are going right here. But look at the chickens. As soon as you dig a hole and expose soil, they're on it in a second. It was full of worms. So when I plant my gojis, I'm going to have to put down some kind of mulch around them. Something like rocks, a couple boards, something. I don't know what, but because if I don't, they're going to be digging my goji berries up, and then we're going to have chicken for Sunday dinner. But they're digging, so I'm going to have to be careful here. So let me get the goji berries and we'll get them in the ground. Okay, there's my wheelbarrow right there with the manure. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take a little bit and put it into each dugout hole, mix it in with a little bit of the soil that's already in there. Probably about 2 tablespoons. Yeah, that'll do it, won't it? 2 shovelfuls in each one. And also, stir it up a little bit. Try to get that mixed up with the dirt that's already in there. And I'll try to save that sod and put it on the very top, and that'll help keep the chickens away from it. Also, what I'm going to do is keep a small indention in there, so like a pocket where it'll hold some rainwater. And try to take that sod that was on there and put it around it. And reason being, I normally wouldn't do that, but the chickens, if I don't, those chickens will have this tore up, and they still might. So I'm gonna have to watch them really, really close. We're supposed to get some rain today, so hopefully that'll protect them. Okay, got all the goji berries planted. Got one there, one here, and one here. Then I got one in a pot that I put up by the barn. It was small. In case any of you are wondering what goji berries are, I didn't really explain that. Goji berries are supposed to be one of the highest antioxidant berries that you can find. Extremely high in antioxidants, very, very good for you. Just like blueberries, but they're higher in antioxidants. Here's my blueberries, as you've seen in the previous video. And I got the goji berries planted right here beside them. And I'll get them soaked down real good. You can see these are in full bloom now. And you can see there's some honeybees all over them. And the bumblebees. Right there's some honeybees on them. See, very important on the homestead if you don't have honeybees. That's one of those things that just doesn't make sense not to have as a homesteader. It's to me, it's the number one thing you should be raising on your homestead is honeybees, even before chickens. I tell you, these things right here will make a huge difference in your crops, and then plus you get honey from them. So they are covered up all over these blueberry bushes right here. Look at the berries are starting to form right there. Some these are very, very good blueberry bushes. These done excellent down here. I've not ever done anything to them. Never pruned them. People say I should prune them, but they do excellent, and they get more blueberries than we could ever eat. This is a big bush right here, and then I got a couple small bushes here that are actually they grow kind of slow. These are probably 6-7 years old. These bushes are right here. They're just now maybe just about 5.5 foot tall or so. So and you can see a big old bumblebee right there. Bumblebees help, but if you don't have a hive that can of honeybees, it makes a huge difference. Bumblebees will pollinate a little bit, but not enough. I'm telling you, not enough. My big old pear tree right there got pruned this year, and it's more like a wintering pear. The pears are not soft, they're really hard, but they're really, really good canners. I've canned these, and they are excellent. They taste just like what you would buy in a store in a can. And of course, over here's the potatoes and the corn, as you can remember in our previous video how well these have done. Okay, if you remember, these are the potatoes. That was a big gamble when I put them out. Didn't know if they was going to make it because of the cold temperatures and the amount of rain that we had. Afraid they was going to rot. Well, they've done really good. They're all through the ground. They all come up. Here's the onions. The corn is still up for debate, but it's looking good, starting to look good coming through. We've got a rain coming, so let's get the fertilizer on the ground, and I'll just spread it just around the plants. I'll show one little example while I'm holding the camera here one-handed. And all I'm gonna do is just put a little bit around it like that. It won't take a whole lot. Just enough to give them a little bit of, and it won't hurt to get it on it. So that one shovelful right there, you can see I did about that many. One big shovelful. And I'll go down through there and do both rows like that. Okay, I got a good layer of goat/chicken manure spread all over the garden. The 2 rows of potatoes here, and 1, 2, 3 rows of corn. And 1 row of onions, which I didn't fertilize. I'm not growing big onions. These are just fresh eating onions, so I don't worry about fertilizing those. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get my tiller, a Troy belt horse, and I'm going to go in before it rains. It's getting cloudy up outside. It's darkened up pretty good, and we're going to go ahead and get the rototiller out, and I'm going to set up my tripod and show you how we do it, how we go in between the rows. So what I'll do, I'll get as close as the potatoes as possible, not real close, on both sides, and the corn as well, but I gotta be careful with the corn because the corn is barely up. So I gotta be very careful. I'm still not sure on the corn how well it germinated, being that it was so wet. I'm hoping it all comes up. It may just be in spurts. May have to replant it, I don't know. Or it may just be, I may just have to let it go and get an early crop of corn, but just not as much, because I plan on right here going with 3 more rows of corn and the Ambrosia brand. So let me get the tiller out and we'll go at it. Okay, there we go. I went through every row. Some of the rows I went twice because there's still enough room for me to go a little bit away from the potatoes going this way, and then the second path I can get right up to them. And what I always try to do is just scrub my tires, just barely touching, just short of touching the potato plant, or just barely touching it at this point. So what I'll do now, the next step will be with the potatoes. In about another week after this rain, and then as warm as it's getting, those things will really take off. And I got a furrow attachment that hooks on the Troy belt, the old Troy belt. And what I'll do, I'll run that furrow attachment in between these rows, and it will heal that dirt up over the potatoes. And it'll make them look short again. It'll make them look like they're just barely popping through the ground. And with tilling all this manure in the ground and some of it right up against it, it's really going to give it a real good boost and start growing, especially when this rain hits. This will aerate the soil as well. Running that tiller through there will aerate that soil and help it grow better. Subscribe to our channel, click on the little bell, and help us get this channel built up. Well, that's about it. Don't forget, click on the little bell, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching Homestead Hacks.